We've got some strange and mysterious things going on in retail, particularly with Walmart. Some secrets just revealed about Walmart behind the scenes and their distribution centers as we move towards this holiday shopping season, or if we'll even have a holiday shopping season, as well as Best Buy. But before I bring you that, I want to bring you guys some information that has been shared with me about the banking industry from boots on the ground intel from you guys, the viewers, which I really do appreciate you guys bringing this information so that we can share it with everyone in the group, in the community, in the family. So Karen says, my stepdaughter works at a bank, and she said her bank is now monitoring everyone's account daily with more than $20,000 in the account. She continued by saying accounts with less than $20,000 are being monitored weekly. They are monitoring all cash withdrawals and transactions as this is now a federal regulation. Now, I got to do my research and double check on this new federal regulation. I may actually give a call to a friend of mine who actually works in the banking industry. More of a private bank, but he would be in tune with the federal regulations around these banks and see. But I believe this. I actually kind of agree with this 100%. And I'd be willing to bet that if you had an account with over $20,000 in it and you were to make a large cash withdrawal, I would be willing to bet that you would probably receive some form of contact from the bank with some questioning about what's going on. Maybe not so much prying into your personal life, but more so trying to get a better understanding of, will this continue? Will this occur more often? And how much more of your cash will you be looking to take out of the bank? Because that has a huge impact on the bank's ability to lend your money out through this fractional reserve banking system. So thank you for sharing that. I'm going to check with a friend in the banking industry to see if I can get you guys a real world answer on this federal regulation as far as the banks monitoring your accounts and your cash flow activity. Also, Melissa says, so true. Went to the bank to make a considerable withdrawal and was told that they had to order the money. They don't have the money. As you said, so much is digital, just ones and zeros on the screen. If a bank run or bail-in happens, you don't want to be on the losing side. I experienced what Kevin is talking about. Heed the warning. The bank questioned us and even tried to offer a bank check. How ridiculous, when we clearly stated we wanted a cash withdrawal. They will try to talk you out of taking the cash. You don't have to give them a reason. It's your money. It seemed like they wanted us to feel like we were doing a wrong for asking for what is ours. It took 7 days. I had to go back once and demand that they give me what it's mine. Made a bit of a scene, but it was worth it. It will get worse as more people realize that their money isn't as accessible as they think. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. Remember, in God we trust, not the banks. Get your money now. Get prepared. Thank you, Kevin, for getting this important information out. This is huge. This is a clear warning sign that folks need to be paying attention. I'm not telling you to create a bank run. I'm not trying to incite panic and fear, although some people may claim that some of the information that I share, which is basic news that occurs every single day, real world experiences from the boots on the ground, from you guys sharing this information. But at the end of the day, you do need to have a backup plan. You do need to have diversity. You do need to have a plan B and a plan C. And that can be multiple banks. That could be cash. That could be credit cards. That could be all sorts of things. But it is important that you prepare yourself for that. And, even though some folks may look at this and say, none of this matters. Putin is threatening nuclear war, and the world's going to come to an end soon anyway. What are we waiting for? Probably not likely. And even still, Noah made an ark because he knew the storm was coming. The Lord commanded Noah to build an ark in which his family and every living thing of all flesh were saved from the flood. Flood water destroyed the wicked and all creatures that lived on the land except those in the ark. When the flood water receded, Noah and his family exited the ark. This is similar. I'm not trying to get biblical on you guys, but this is similar. Like I'm not saying I'm Noah. I'm not saying that I'm building an ark, but I am saying that the floodwaters are coming. Okay. And the floodwaters are going to hurt people. It's going to hurt Americans. I mean, it's going to hurt folks around the world, but here in America, it's going to hurt the low income. It's going to hurt those in poverty. It's going to hurt those who don't earn a lot. It's going to hurt those who don't have investments. It's going to hurt those who don't have backup plans and safety measures in place. It's going to hurt those who don't have a network. It's going to hurt those who can't go a week without getting paid, who are already living paycheck to paycheck and pretty much one paycheck away from being homeless. It's going to hurt people who, on a daily basis, multiple times a day, tune in, subscribe, turn on notifications to stimulus check channels, hoping that the government is going to issue a stimulus check update and provide them with some additional money so that they can weather this storm. And that's what this is. And, if the floodwaters are high prices and inflation, then the arc is going to be prudent financial education and hard work and intelligence and planning and preparation so that you can ride this out, because there are cycles. And even though somebody commented something about timing the market is ridiculous. Timing the market, it's a gamble at best, especially when it comes to stocks and trading options and things like that. But with that being said, this is a cycle, and we will exit this cycle much like we have in the past. We've had recessions in the past, and guess what? We've come out of them. Now we're back in a recession. We will come out of this one. But if you're not on the boat, if you're not on the ark, you're going to be treading water basically, and you may not survive when the waters recede. Now, I want to get into Walmart, and it says here, actually, let me jump into Best Buy. And it says that Best Buy already cut the workforce by 50% since the pandemic. And they had us working, and this is from an employee at a Best Buy. It says they had us working with a quarter of the staff we used to have and been there for 9 years. And this year, for our back to school, it was completely dead. Usually from July till December, where we usually are nonstop. Maybe August, there's a slight break, but it was bad. And they are already plotting to turn our customer service into self-checkout machines. Important. Managers are on the hot seat because the CEO realizes they're just not needed. They are pretty much just key holders at this point. Retail workers won't be needed much longer, I'm afraid. Once Amazon gets bots to downstock, it's a wrap. So you got to realize, number one, businesses are in survival mode. They are planning. What we see on a regular basis, day to day, what is actually shared in the news is a glimpse of what's going on. So you got to think about it. If you see a shocking headline, a warning, you got to realize that it's a much bigger picture that they're not sharing with you. They're not showing you that by the time you do see it, it's going to be too late to react. So if companies like Best Buy have reduced their workforce, they're cutting down to 50%, they're cutting down to 25%, and their typical busy seasons are reduced drastically, which means their revenues are reduced, which means their profits are reduced, which means more than likely their costs are being increased just because of inflation and how much more everything costs on a daily basis. They are making plans to stop that bleeding. And that starts with a reduction of workforce, a reduction of hours, a reduction of employees. And then from there, the only way that they can reduce the employees anymore is to eliminate them altogether by using self-checkout machines and automation, AI, and technology. Even Walmart's moving to shipping products with drones. And Amazon is leading the way. So in these businesses, what they do is they'll take the other businesses' tech and they'll buy into it. So Amazon is like, yeah, we make billions of dollars selling products, but we can make even more money selling tech. And these businesses work together. Don't think that they don't. Think just like, for instance, let's just think about, I think Ford worked together with GM to design the 10-speed transmissions that they use in their cars and their trucks. BMW worked with Toyota to create the Supra based off of the BMW Z4. They worked together. I think I think even Toyota worked with another automotive, maybe Tesla, because they were trying to share. They wanted access to the electric EV car tech, and they were offering up a trade. These businesses work together because they want to sell to the consumers, but they also want to improve and be better themselves. Think about why most new cars now on the road they really kind of look alike. They kind of look the same. Why? Because they're all working together. They're all working together, just even something as simple as Best Buy, and you go in the store. I used to work at Best Buy, and I knew the back end of it. And if you look at some of the TVs, you look at some of the appliances, refrigerators, they're all the same company. For the most part, Samsung was pretty much running it all, and they would sell tech and let people put their own label on it. That's all it was. But when you see these warning signs, you got to pay attention, because they're going to be cutting workforce. Their busy seasons have been reduced, and we're going into this holiday season. And if my prediction is true, this is going to be a dud of a holiday season, which is going to start 2023 off with a lot of people making New Year's resolutions, saying that they wish they would have started something sooner, because now they're out of a job. They don't have any money coming in, and their bills are piling up, and they don't know what they're going to do. And all the food that they planted and all the Bibles that they have piled up on their nightstand aren't saving them. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that you should probably also consider some other options as well besides just that, as money is going to be the end all be all very soon, as far as why and how people are going to be able to or not be able to survive on a daily basis by buying food and shelter and having a vehicle, being able to put gas in it to travel to work if there's even a job for them to do, which you may want to reconsider if you're in a retail workforce, how companies are finding new ways to eliminate the retail worker and replace them with a computer, or replace them with a robot, replace them with AI technology. Just saying. Now, let's take a look at Walmart. I work at a Walmart distribution center, and this time of year, we're supposed to be booming to the point where they beg workers to work overtime. However, we are barely working, and they're asking us in maintenance to cut our hours. When you see them cutting maintenance hours during these times, the lines are not running. That's a huge problem. You got to have maintenance, and maintenance is what keeps the operations flowing. There's these companies, they're fulfillment centers, they're drop shipment centers, they're the warehouses that they run, these distribution centers, they are machines. People work there, but they are machines. And as these machines continuously run, they have wear and tear, and they need to be maintained. But if they're saying that these distribution centers are not booming and product is not moving and maintenance doesn't need to show up, this is a clear sign, it's a clear indication of what is going on. Economic Ninja actually posted a video, I think yesterday, about speaking to a Walmart manager and the secrets that she revealed about how Walmart can't mark down their products more than they have because they're losing too much money. Even though they haven't sold it, if they mark it down, they consider it a loss because of how much they spent to buy these goods. But they can't sell it. They're tying up the floor. The pallets are stacking up to the rafters. They're not going to lower their prices. People aren't willing to buy it. As we roll into this holiday season, which buyer confidence, consumer spending is down. Credit card transactions are up. Credit card debt is going up, but it's for necessities. It's for food. It's for day-to-day necessities to get by, not crap that runs through these distribution centers that most people don't necessarily need. So if you think about it, from these warning signs that we're seeing from the boots on the ground intel, the real world workforce behind the scenes at the distribution centers behind the scenes, that's before it gets to the store. Economic Ninja is telling you, he's talking to the Walmart managers, and they're telling him that they have too much on the floor, yet the company isn't necessarily doing anything more to help move it. But even if they did, there's no guarantee that the employee or customers would actually buy it because they don't have the disposable income nor the want to continuously dig themselves into this deeper hole of buying things they don't need when they now realize how important it is to buy things that are going to help them survive this storm that the Fed and Jerome Powell has already said we're going to experience well into 2024. So this is not just this year. This is not just next year. We're going into 2024 with these problems. And meanwhile, people are already seeing the writing on the wall like, yeah, sure, cool. The holiday season's coming up. There could be markdowns. It could be Black Friday specials. It could be Cyber Monday deals or whatever. But my job is on the line. My job is at risk. I'm not getting a check from the government in the form of a stimulus check. Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, shut that down. He said we have too much money as it is. So there's no cavalry. There's no relief. There's no support coming. Perhaps maybe there may be an inkling of something as midterm elections near just to get the votes up. But for the most part, people are afraid. They are in fear. I'm not trying to scare you any more than what's going on is already doing. But if you're paying attention to what's going on and if you're listening and if you're working, if you're a retail worker, if you're in these positions, then you probably already know. This is not spreading fear. This is not trying to scare folks and to clickbait titles. This is the real world. And just trying to help you guys, just trying to share some information. And it's like, well, what can you do? It's not about buying a coat. It's not about buying a winter coat so you can weather the storm of inflation, the cold winter that's coming. But the coat is a metaphor. The coat is increasing your income. The coat is reducing your expenses. The coat is hammering down on your budget to make sure you're only spending what has to be spent, knowing where every single dollar is coming in and where it's going out before it even happens. And with that, finding ways to have more dollars come in and less dollars going out. That's the key. That's where it's at. I think even Economic Ninja has a side hustle course that he's selling. I think it's even 50% off. So these are important. And, for most people, a side hustle is a great option. It's something that you can do on the side in relatively a small amount of time. You're going to have to take it away from something else. Maybe don't sit on the couch and watch TV all weekend. Maybe, don't go to the bar and have a few beers. Maybe spend some time and work on something that's actually going to produce a financial help you prepare better financially now. You got to put that work in now before the shit actually hits the fan, like really, really hits the fan, because it's not really there yet. So before it actually happens, maybe it doesn't. And if it doesn't, even better, you're going to be in a better position. But if it does, by then it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late for you to try to then backtrack and do all the things that you should have done, because then it's too late. It's like, you don't want to, if you don't know how to swim, you don't want to fall into the ocean without a life jacket on. You want to have the life jacket on before you fall in the ocean, because, this is just proper. This is responsible planning for you, for your family, based on the indicators that are out there from the news, from the markets, from the banks, from these corporate giants like Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy, just to name a few. You guys know what I'm talking about. Go ahead, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you're hearing. Let me know what you're seeing. If you're interested in starting a side hustle, getting something going off the ground, building a YouTube channel, which is a profitable venture, and there's so many more that we can discuss, even getting into real estate, because if you're interested in getting into real estate, we need to have a chat, because although the housing market is potentially seeing a decline, there is still a humongous opportunity out there for people to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate, despite the pricing of housing and the direction of the housing market and how high interest rates are going. Like I said before, the economy, the housing market, the auto industry, it could all be bad for some, but for others, it could be good. You guys take care, be safe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.